Welcome to the PG-DND Aftershow for Curse of Strahd, the show where we talk about what we just did.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
Yes, sir.
Now, in the Aftershow, we dive deeper in. We're going to be going into episodes 6 through 9. And if you haven't watched those yet, go and watch them now before you finish this. It'll be here when you come back. We'll be talking about some heavy spoilers. So please, if you don't want anything spoiled, don't continue. If you're fine with it, you've been warned. Now, before we get started, as always, we'd like to thank James RPG Art for a lot of the art that we showcase in our shows, providing that, and Tabletop Audio for the audio and sound effects that we listen to. So go check both of them out. They're both, Patreon is linked in our description below. James RPG Art, it's a free service, but you should definitely support him on Patreon. Or not James RPG, Tabletop Audio. I'm getting confused. Free, but go support him on Patreon. We'll have the links down below. Also, make sure to go check out Season 1 of Heroes of Theros. We have over 50 episodes. They're great. Go listen to them. They're currently, all of the episodes are on podcasts. So wherever you can find a podcast, go and listen to them. We're working on getting them on YouTube, so they'll be there soon, hopefully. But go listen to them. They're great.
Just a reminder, we are releasing our episodes 2 days early on YouTube. So if you want to get our episodes early, go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We are releasing every Saturday at noon Mountain Standard Time, and then our podcast version gets released the following Monday at noon Mountain Standard Time. So if you want to get them early, go to our YouTube, subscribe, hit that notification bell.
Jefferson, would you like to give us a quick recap of the latest episodes?
Ooh, buddy.
Hold on.
While Jefferson is doing that, shout out to Relaxation Harmony, their YouTube channel. They do copyright-free music, and that is what you are currently listening to. A little Tavern Inn playlist that they got. So enjoy that while we dive deep.
Is the recap on the notes? Or
It
am I
should
just
be.
blind recapping?
Nope, it's on there.
Really? I must have skipped over it.
Did you guys read the notes? Yeah, totally.
I know I did.
I read the notes.
I read the notes.
For sure.
I'm out.
I read the
I'm out.
Spark notes.
Where in the notes is it?
It's towards the top.
There's very little of our show that's actually scripted, and this is probably why, because we wouldn't read it.
There's 3 sections.
Readings for nerds.
Okay.
Which is surprising because
There's a little play
Look for the
button.
big red letter. It says Jeff. It's big in
I'm
red.
out.
Let's hear it.
So there's a little play button next to intro.
Yeah.
If you click that,
Yeah.
drops down the notes.
Yep.
Yeah.
You learn something new every day.
There we go.
All right. Yep, there is one that says Jeff, as a matter of fact. Everyone's looking at me like, it's your turn. And I'm like,
It's like, what? Come on,
I was just
Tyson.
hoping they weren't looking at me.
all right. Okay. Now, before we get started, we're going to do a quick recap. Thank you, everyone, for being patient. This will recap everything that's happened up until this point in episode 9. And after finding Mr. Durst's body, Xeno attempted to hide it, and in doing so, found his last letter written to the Durst children. The party soon stumbled upon the remains of Gloria, the housemaid, and soon after found her spirit. In a chilling conversation with her, the party discovered many secrets of the house and its residents, namely a secret passageway to the attic. In the attic, the party found the bodies of the Durst children and learned more about their deaths and the fate of the house itself. After being tasked to lay the family to rest and to defeat the darkness in the house, the adventurers made their way into the dungeon levels of the manor. They soon found many strange creatures and past residents of the house, while still having time to make some wishes in a wishing well and giving Silas time to finish a toy horse for Vilix. After finding a shrine of shadows and an undead Mrs. Durst, our party made it down to the ritual chambers. They were soon encountered by past cultists and were attacked by the dreaded darkness of the Destroyer. A close call with Silas's life gave him his first glimpse into his past. Luckily, the heroics of Vilix saved the day, and the group was able to defeat the darkness and free the house. With the help of the Durst children, they were able to make it out safely, only to find themselves face to face with Lord Strahd von Zarovich himself. Bringing gifts for the party, Strahd told them that only the strong will survive in Barovia, and asked for them to tell him who the weakest party member was. After a snide remark, Strahd took matters into his own hands and killed the innocent Vilix in one foul swoop, leaving the party speechless and alone.
Thank you for doing that.
Thanks.
Now,
Yep.
before we get in, yeah, thanks for
Anytime.
doing that.
Anytime. I'll just
Make sure to just click that play button and we'll put
Just
it in the
keep
notes.
me on my toes. Oh my gosh.
So, before we get started, I feel like we need to announce this publicly before we dive deep, or else you're going to be really confused with everything that we're going to talk about. Is that sadly, Vilix is dead.
R.I.P. Vilix.
Yeah, he was killed by Strahd, and we'll probably talk a little bit more about the mechanics and everything about that. But sadly, he is gone, and knowing that will make a lot more sense as we go into some of the topics later on. But hopefully, that's not too big of a shock for you. So
We did say spoiler alert, so
yeah,
it's your own fault. I'm really sorry.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
This is probably the biggest spoiler.
Vilix, he's dead. So first things first, let's talk about Vilix. I want to know what your guys' thoughts are on the whole situation. I want to know what you're thinking about. I want to know what you're feeling. I want to know everything.
Who's gonna kick it off? I want to know how Zane's sleeping with all this bed of lies that he's cultivated.
First off, I want to ask Zane a question.
Me?
And this is how long has Zane the player known that this was going to happen before it happened?
Since the beginning.
Oh my gosh, you dog. You dog.
Dude, it's I'll tell you what.
That makes me more mad.
I'm sad. I'm sad. Like, I loved playing Vilix. Vilix, so much fun of a character. Like, just it breaks my heart. Honestly, I mean, like I said, I knew that Vilix was gonna die from the beginning, and it like broke my. There were several times where I almost like came to Tyson and was just like, dude, let's not do it. Let's not do it. He's just too good. Like, he's just so pure and so much fun to play, and he works so well with the rest of like the team, and just fit right into place. But
Yeah,
I won't go any further. I'm sure we'll get into it later.
I was so excited to have this innocent little kid just running around with two monsters.
Yeah.
I was
same.
so hyped
Yeah.
for that.
I know. I was too, and I was like,
was perfect.
it was.
I don't think I have ever personally played in a party of or DM for a party of that. The dynamic was perfect. That perfect. I think
From the get-go.
From the get-go, right? And I think that incorporates everything, right? Like, obviously, we weren't just perfect friends from the beginning. Silas was
Yeah.
pretty not trusting of you guys, but I feel like that just added to the rapport of the group and the slow build and the slow, bond that these three have grown over this short time in this strange place.
It just
Like,
flowed
made
well.
Yeah, it did. It was perfect. Like we could
You know,
have
like
made it
maybe the
better.
flow wasn't like the greatest and always positive, but like it
No,
flowed.
but flowed, and I don't think anybody could have written it better,
Yeah.
or destroyed it more effectively than you guys did when you killed Vilix.
Yeah,
Well,
I did not see it coming, and in the
Yeah.
slightest little inkling, I didn't see it coming. You had me convinced, Zane, that was actually your character. So good
Yeah.
job for deceiving
And-
your friends.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm just teasing
guys.
you.
Former.
No, I really am sorry though. I mean, he's just he was so much. He was great. I love.
And I knew.
Um,
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna ask, did you create Vilix first, or did you create your other character first, and then Vilix was like a thing that Tyson came to you with?
I created Vilix first.
Ooh.
Tyson,
What
do you want to
point?
talk more about like the behind the screen stuff later? And- or-
Let's save that for a second.
And
Okay.
then just talk about like Velix's like maybe like theories on his backstory, stuff like that, or
yeah. Let's.
Okay,
just-
let's get into
Yeah,
character.
we'll go into that later
Okay.
because
I'm sorry.
I've got a lot I want to talk
Hold on.
about this.
I just want to know.
same.
Okay,
Yeah, and I know Zane does so.
character-wise, then we'll get into character.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that was my question. I was going to ask you, Tyson. Was thoughts and feelings about the event, character or player or both?
wait. What? Sorry. What? I'm
So
confused.
you asked
What?
like what's, no. So you asked like what our thoughts and feelings are surrounding
Mm.
Oh,
Felix's
yeah.
death. Okay, is it our character's thoughts and feelings? Is it my thoughts and feelings, or is it both?
I say both. Like just
Alright.
dive into it. You know, like what's Jefferson feeling? What
I'm
What
going to
is
start with Jefferson.
Silas feeling?
I'm going to start
Okay.
with Jefferson because Jefferson is real salty. Jefferson knew so as shocking as it was, which it came as a complete shock to me. I wondered if someone was going to get killed when he's like, "Who's the weakest among you?" I think I knew that someone was going to die. I wasn't sure who, and I wasn't sure if offering up my name would have changed that or not. Right, but for that reason I didn't, because I was hoping that maybe this was also kind of a trick. Like maybe we don't say anything, and he doesn't do anything, right? So I kind of wondered, and then when you say that he takes a hold of Vilix and kills him right there in front of us, as shocking as that was to Jefferson, which it was shocking, and I was in shock. I have worked as a DM behind the scenes with Zane enough and long enough to know when his reaction is not genuine, and his reaction was not genuine. He was like,
It was so
dude."
hard.
He was like, "Oh no," and he's like kind of like hiding a smile. You know what I mean? And
Dude, I couldn't help it.
Meanwhile, Connor and I are doing all we can to keep our hearts inside of our chests
Yeah.
because we have spent 9 weeks getting to know Vilix and ready to do an entire campaign with him. So Jefferson was kind of mad at first. And I don't think he was mad at Zane or Tyson, but I think I was definitely upset at the fact that, one, we didn't get to play with Vilix anymore, because I enjoyed role-playing with him and role-playing as Vilix, and I enjoyed Zane playing Vilix. Like, I really loved how you played him. And so, like, I very much enjoyed being there. I gotta sneeze.
I think Xeno's still in a little bit of shock.
And Silas is speechless, as he was at the end of the episode. And I think I was thinking today about what might happen, or how might Silas react in the first few minutes of the next episode, and I think it'll be emotional for me and Silas as well.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Tyson, I know that I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be so fun. We won't do like a rushed playthrough." Like, we'll just explore and play this at our own pace. Nope. I'm killing Strahd next episode. Like,
I want to get into it more, but that's what I wanted. I wanted you guys to be invested in this. Like that was one of the
I was
biggest
invested
things.
before.
I know, but
I
now
don't
it's
care
so
about
much
the world.
deeper. It's
I
so
don't
much
care about the
deeper.
world. Nope. I don't care about exploring anything. I care about getting to the castle and shooting Strahd in the face. That's all I
No,
care
but
about.
Yeah.
if you go now, man,
You know the
I try.
you know the crazy thing is that Xeno is gonna have to hold Silas together.
Yeah,
nah.
literally
For
and
sure.
figuratively, he is just bones.
Yeah, I don't think.
I want to say this. I thought it would be. I brought this up to Tyson. I thought it would be interesting to have an episode where it was just Silas and Xeno, like like
Oh,
before my new character
yeah.
came in, and I was like, that'd be so cool. Like they
would be
could
cool.
interact with just the two of them. It could even be a short episode, like just to see
Yeah.
like how it is like with just the two of them,
That would be awesome.
But I don't think we're doing that. But
Darn it.
just anyway.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be
We
rough.
definitely do have some plans though, so we got some good things coming.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so Silas, I think, is shocked. And I think that's the only emotion I can say give for Silas right now, honestly. Is shock and disbelief, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Xeno's going to be feeling a lot of guilt about not being able to reconcile how he reacted to Vilix being inside of his shell. He's going to have a lot of unfinished emotions. Unresolved emotions. That's what I'm looking for. And the crappy thing is that he's going to have to hold it together for Silas's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know, man. I didn't see it coming. I didn't think anybody was actually going to die.
I thought somebody was in the campaign, but I didn't think it would be episode 9.
I just didn't think it'd be so quick.
Yeah.
Tyson's got to invest us, make us care.
I will say though, for the viewers, before we started Curse of Strahd, all three of these guys, they said, "I want you to traumatize me.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go home and just be scared and just feel every emotion and just be traumatized." And I was like,
Hey,
duly noted. I'm going to
When-
do stuff.
when we said that, we weren't meaning kill the favorite character in the 9th episode. Okay?
I never gave you a specific either. I just said, what do you want? And you said, I want to be traumatized.
Well, traumatized I am.
True. Yeah, Tyson, I said kill my character, not kill every other character.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, so
what,
I don't...
what are
Are we going to have an episode where it's just Silas and Xeno?
Oh, we
Um,
should. That'd be so
we'll-
cool.
yeah, we'll have to see honestly how next episode goes.
Okay.
I have some plans. I want to spend some time with Zane's new character, get to know him a little bit, but give you guys some opportunity to talk about things. So we'll just have to see how everything goes. But we've got some stuff in the plans.
Spoiler alert. You said him. You guys know it's a dude.
I know.
That's true.
I heard it.
And here I was.
I already have
convinced.
theories.
You have a theory? On
Yeah.
who my next character is?
Yes, I think he's a male.
We gotta hear that.
I think he's a male.
Oh, you nailed it. That
I think
was
he's a male man. That's what I think.
was literally just about to say that.
No, you were.
I was. But
That's
you kept
awesome.
talking. I was gonna say
sorry.
he was a male.
We got a
man.
leak.
You
Tyson's
should-
been leaking out
you
my
should have just
character
said it.
ideas.
Well, I'm just reading. I'm just giving him No, I can't even make that joke anymore. I'm not writing this. This is
No,
the worst story ever written. So
it's
I would
phenomenal.
never write this.
I will be honest.
Worst meaning the roughest. not
Yeah,
the worst.
I've never been hooked and invested like so deeply so fast. So kudos to you two for creating a very good hook to get us invested in the world. And it was a kid.
It came at a great price.
A kid.
Yeah.
You guys are sick.
Seriously.
And now we'll never
I know we
know.
are.
Like, did you ever even develop Vilix's horns? Do we even know what that was about? Do you even know what that was about?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah,
Okay.
dude.
So is Vilix's backstory something that we're gonna have to discover in game from your next character, or is that something that you can tell us now since he's
Or-
gone?
Or
It could be tied to his new character's backstory.
That's what I'm saying.
Vilix could be.
Question I'm asking.
Okay, so this goes into our theory that Vilix was like a prince of the Hells, right?
Right.
What if he possesses this new character and it's just
Very
Vilix?
fun.
I don't know. There's little hints along the way of like, hey,
that would
I'm
be
still
cool.
here.
That would be awesome.
That actually would be
and
kind
then
of
it's
Tyson,
just a quest,
what do you think?
and then
I
it's just
should
a
do
quest
as
to
far
get
as-
his body back.
Should we spill the beans on Felix's backstory or what?
Yeah, go for it.
Should I?
Because he's gone,
Yeah.
right? Forever.
He's dead.
Yeah, Felix is gone.
DED.
Felix is gone.
Gone forever. That's the question
DED.
I asked.
Deed.
He dead, man.
Okay, that's not. I'm not asking if he's dead. I'm asking if he's gone forever.
Do you have
His
resurrection?
new,
Do you have revivify?
his new character, yeah, is not tied to Felix. Felix
Okay.
is gone. That's why I said at
He's
the beginning,
gone.
Felix is dead.
Yeah.
He's gone.
That's just to
But-
clarify.
Did you guys read my notes at all? We were going to talk about his backstory in the future.
Wait, you have notes?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, go ahead and say what you want.
I'm gonna say okay. So, I kind of did a bad job at getting Felix's backstory out, which is my bad because I was just there was like one time where I could have brought it out and I didn't. It was at the wishing well. The wishing well, the wish that he was gonna make. I don't know. I was kind of thrown off guard by it, and like it was just one of those things where it was just a missed opportunity. You know what I mean? You just didn't react fast enough to the situation, and you just didn't know how to at the time. But then you're like, oh yeah, like that would have been it. So I could have I could have shed a lot of light on it then, but unfortunately, I didn't think about it at the time.
Too used to playing Theseus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know the I'm not telling you jack about my backstory.
Yeah.
So what would
but-
you
and then
have
it was
wished
so hard
what
because
would
how do
you
you get
have
a-
wished for?
What's up?
What would you have wished for the wishing well?
I
You said you were gonna wish for
let-
something
okay.
that
I think I'd have to tell you his backstory
first. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm all ears.
But I'm gonna say, I just want to say that it is difficult to get a player's backstory out in 9 sessions.
Yeah.
Like
I can imagine.
I knew that time was limited, and I could have done a better job at it. It was quick. It was so fast. You know what I mean? And I was trying to build rapport with you guys, and I wish I would have done that a little bit
So
faster.
you knew. So that confirms that you knew out the gate that once we're out of the Durst Manor, Vilix was gone.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I knew it was coming after the Durst Manor. I actually thought that there was going to be a like a walk to the next town, and then before we got to the town, I thought it was gonna happen. So I thought we'd have a minute to talk and chat, and then I was like, oh, that's when I'll bring up some stuff about Vilix, because he had just had his kind of like his episode in the like catacombs of the Durst Manor, you know what I mean? Whenever his horns caught on fire and his eyes and he started to float, that was kind of part of his backstory a little bit. So I was assuming that we were going to talk about it a little bit because it wasn't part of, his wild magic. In a way, it kind of was. It was like the manifestation, but of his wild magic, but because of his backstory, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
We can go into it later, but
Anyway, backstory.
Yeah, thought I'd have a little bit more time, unfortunately.
He's still evading. He still won't give us any
You're still
snippets.
stalling.
All he's saying is that
other
he.
stuff to say. So, okay, Vilix's backstory. Vilix, first off, I have to say, so the YouTube comment. What did the YouTube comment? There was a YouTube comment that. What did it say? Give me a sec to pull it up.
Oh, the Vilix is like part gladiator.
No, that one was about Silas.
That was Silas. That was Silas.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm part gladiator.
Okay, so we had a comment on our YouTube video that said that I think Vilix accidentally killed his parents. He did it, but totally not on purpose. So we got to debunk this right now, because that's been the prevalent theory that everyone's believed, that Vilix killed his parents. Vilix did not kill them. You sick people.
Are they alive?
Are they alive?
No, they're dead. He's an
Okay.
orphan.
Oh. Okay.
Who
so
killed
he
him?
is an actual orphan.
They just died of sickness. They just
Oh.
they caught they caught some. Haven't put up a name to the sickness, but like some
plague.
form of like a plague or a virus of some kind, and they both died. And that's how Vilix winded up in the orphanage.
Did he burn down orphanages?
He burnt down one orphanage.
On accident.
What?
On accident.
It was on accident. So this was, we'll go into the tale, the night that he burned down that Vilix burned down an orphanage. I never realized how chaotic this sounds, now that I'm saying it out loud.
The night that Vilix burned down an orphanage.
Yeah,
Like, I think
the
about
night
it.
that
Monday
at 7 p.m.
Watch a little kid set an orphanage on fire.
Man, Vilix is so metal. So the night that it occurs, totally normal night. Vilix everyone was in bed, right? All the little orphans were just tuckered out from all their day of playing and not eating much food because they're poor, and so they're going to sleep. And then in the middle of the night, some slavers break into the orphanage, and they begin to take the orphans to sell them as slaves. And as this occurs, some of Vilix's friends are being taken, and Vilix, being a sorcerer, having innate wild magic abilities, emphasis on wild, he does not know how to control his magic. In a fit of rage, in seeing that his friends are being captured by these individuals, he tries to save them by casting a fire spell of some kind. But his emotions being at where they were, being heightened, and his inability to control his powers, he kind of lets loose and loses control, which is kind of the state that he goes into. I'll talk about that in a sec. But anyway, loses control, and ends up burning down the orphanage, and all of his friends actually die, including the slavers.
That's so sad.
R.I.P. orphans.
Dude. The kid
I mean, at least you got the guys, right? Like, at least you got the slavers.
That's
Yeah,
he
you
has
got him,
such a
though.
rough. I
Good
mean,
job.
the innocence card makes so much sense. We should have known with the innocence card that he wasn't like a murderer. He wasn't like some crazy demon. Like, he was just a kid that just had an unfortunate circumstance.
Yeah.
That sucks, dude.
No, that definitely checks out. Me and a character that is put in an unfortunate circumstance.
Yeah.
That you do not in any way create for yourself.
No. Not not me.
Go check out our first season, everybody.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would have to disagree. Like, we should probably if you want to know what the heck we're talking about, just go listen to the after shows over there, so I can rant about it to you. But anyway, oh, that's what I was thinking. So we talked about this. Why was Vilix scared of fire?
Because he accidentally killed his friends. Duh.
Yeah, and after that, he was scared to use fire magic. So Vilix I didn't have any fire magic spells for him except for like the chaotic orb. Is that the one that I used? Chromatic orb. Chromatic orb. And there was a chance that he could cast like, in fire if it happened that way. And it never came to it.
I can't remember how did he accidentally touch fire? What was it again?
It was the wild magic surge.
That's right.
And let me tell you, that was like an answer to prayers. I was like, man, Vilix needs to cast fire because he's gonna die. And it was literally the last attack of that fight.
Oh my god.
And he finally did it. And I was like, yes.
That's so
yeah,
sad.
it was I was like, it almost never came out.
Yeah. Because I literally, I saw your character's avatar, and like I said in the episode, I thought it was just aesthetic. I didn't think it would, because nothing ever, you got around flame and stuff. You didn't really want to touch it, but nothing ever really, happened.
I knew once Vilix refused to light the fire. Those first couple episodes when Silas was like, hey, let me come teach you how to build a fire, I knew then that he had an aversion to flame. But Silas isn't the type to be like, now, why are you spooked from fire, son? Tell me. So.
Well, I knew had it scared of... Suspend your disbelief, Jefferson.
What?
I'm just
What do you mean?
I'm just teasing. You've just been a DM for too long.
Well,
That's
I'm
all
saying
it is.
Silas could tell he was afraid of fire.
Well, I knew that too. I just didn't know that how the fire would affect him is what I meant.
That's fair. I didn't either. Well, other than the flame for horns, because that was pretty obvious by his picture.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was aesthetic.
And that was it honestly, it started out I was drawing his character, and I was just like, he needs something. Vilix needs something that's gonna set him apart from everything else, because otherwise it's kind of a pretty basic character
otherwise
design.
his death is meaningless.
So then I came up with the idea. You what?
I said, otherwise his death is meaningless. Might as well make him look cool, or else his death won't mean anything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And so I came up with that idea, and then I was talking to Zane, and then it kind of, from that, it grew into his dark gift that he took was linked to it. I mean, a lot of things kind of stacked on top of it. So it was, at first it was just aesthetics, and I just threw it by him. I was like, hey, what do you think about this? And then he was like, I love that. Let's run with it.
Yeah.
And then he was like, let's do this. And so it was kind of yeah.
That's usually what happens
But
with
it
my
worked out.
characters. I have I'll get a little bit of, I'll get writer's block, kind of, you know what I mean? I'm like, what am I gonna do? And then just one little idea pops in my head, and then it just snowballs from there. So I don't know if anybody else feels that way with their characters, or they're just like, yep, I'm just gonna do it like this. But that's how it happens with me. I struggle, and then it snowballs.
Well, I've actually been thinking about this a lot, and I think I have everyone pretty basically nailed down. So Zane, everyone correct me if I'm wrong, but Zane, I think that you build characters with an end goal in mind. At least as far as that I've seen, your characters have an end goal, and that's the first thing that you come up with, and then everything else flows after.
Yeah. That's it. I'm just kidding. No, I didn't realize it, but yeah. Sometimes, I mean, I don't intentionally start there.
not Yeah.
But that's I mean, that's usually what happens. I mean, usually my characters have like a specific goal of some kind, or somewhere that I want to take this character. It's not like
Mhm.
this character's goal is to blank. It's like I want this character to be like this, and I want them to end up like this.
Hmm.
And then we're
Yeah.
gonna talk, and then we kind of go over, like why the whys and hows and the whats,
Mhm.
that takes them to that destination, and kind of weaves that story like that.
Yeah. And first off, like all of these are great. Like I just want to say like the character is like good for your own thing, right?
Wait. Say what you just said again,
But-
because you said
You're cutting up a little bit.
yeah.
Oh.
You said I just want to say that all of these are great, and then it just cut out.
Oh. Well, I just wanted like that all of the ways that I've pegged you guys as building characters, they're all like great ways to do it. There's no right or wrong way to start building a character, right?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. You have
But
to have your own process.
yeah,
I've actually never thought about this until you just brought it up. Like I've never thought about.
Well, I know,
want
I've-
characters. Do me. I want to go.
So Connor, I think you start with and this is going to sound kind of repetitive, but you start with the character. You start with the personality, the person,
Mm-hmm.
the idea, the concept of this thing. Like, I want to play this type of thing. I want to play this type of person.
Yeah.
And it's more of like a personality than it is at all. I want to play a master fighter that takes 3 levels. It's like, no, I want to play this type of person.
Yeah. For sure. I like to explore.
Is that pretty?
For sure. I like to explore the. I guess that's why I like D&D so much, is that it gives me the opportunity to like explore other perspectives and to like almost have like a empathy filled like virtual reality type of situation where I
Mhm.
get to like experience somebody else's emotions. So yeah, that's pretty spot on. And it's way less about like where did they come from or where are they going, and more just like this
Yeah,
is who I want
but
to
it's
play.
who they are.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And whatever happens in the middle happens in the middle in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tyson's now our therapist. Yeah, do Jefferson.
Yeah.
Do Jefferson.
Fine.
Welcome to
All
therapy.
right.
So Jeff,
Tell me my truth.
I think that you start with concepts. You start with broad strokes. So it's because like every character I've ever made with you, you're like, this is the concept I want to play. You're like, I want to play a gunslinging skeleton.
Is the build.
I want to play
Skeleton cowboy.
Yeah, skeleton cowboy. I want to play a German scientist. I want to play this type of, so it's like it's these broad strokes concept. You're like, this concept sounds cool. This is what I want to do. I want to do this. I want to play this idea. I want to play this fantasy out. I want to, kind of a thing. Would you say that that's pretty?
Yeah, and then after that, I pick and choose what sort of like race and class would fit that concept.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, no, I'd say that's 100% accurate to how I run things.
Yeah.
Weird.
See, I got you guys.
Dang,
And then-
yeah.
What about you, Tyson?
For
Yeah.
me, I honestly I start with
psychoanalyze yourself.
I start with the build.
Of course you
love
do. I
character
knew it.
creation.
Yeah.
Like
I knew
Yeah.
it.
like I love it so
Yep.
much. And so for me, it's
Yeah.
like I want to play this build, and then everything else just comes later. Like I love character creation. I love thinking about the numbers. I love crunching things. Like that is so fun to me. And then so I take the general build, and then I mix in role play stuff. And I like to, I'm not 100% do everything for the damage output, but like that's where I start. Like I just love the build.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Xeno feels so underwhelming compared to Alondros, dude. Like, it's rough. There's so many times where I'm like,
broken.
I'm so useless. If only we had Alondros here. Like, you just built that bard like just to be absolutely utterly broken. Like,
Well,
Yeah.
I picked what I wanted him to be good at, and I just put all my chips in those piles.
Yeah.
I just
There
said,
we
what
go.
can I do to just get that, you know? So
I love it.
Bard of Eloquence, obvious.
yeah, eloquence
Arguably
bards are
best class in
Yeah.
the game.
yeah. If you're going for social, there's nothing you can do that's better than an eloquence bard. But
And you
Well,
played him that way too.
I can do
He
Shay.
knew what he was good at.
yeah, how does
Alright, yeah.
How does Shay build?
Shay
characters?
starts building her characters by trying to understand the basic concepts of D&D and what the rules are. And then just kind of be like, what would be easy? And then she picks Paladin.
There you go.
Yeah,
baby.
it was just like, it was kind of just
And
like,
you have
that
Jeff
sounds
do the
cool.
backstory.
That sounds cool. Yeah. She's staring at me right now. Am I right? No,
I'm
we'll
sure
see.
we'll figure her
Yeah,
out.
it's hard to when it's her first character.
Yeah.
She'll get
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
What
Well-
else? What else we got?
Did you guys want to hear of my background of Vilix?
Yes.
Okay. So I had the idea. I had this idea. Seriously, it was like I think it was months even before we had decided we were playing Curse of Strahd. Like I was thinking about this for a long time because like I love Curse of Strahd. And for those watching, like we actually were playing Curse of Strahd before we started Theros. With a few other people and stuff like that, but we didn't get very far. Like we were very, very close to the beginning.
It was
It was a hot mess.
It was a
I
much
think.
different vibe as well. Much different
Is
vibe.
what you're
It
trying
was
to say.
very
I
It was a
actually didn't even
hot
get to play
mess.
the beginning portion. The Durst
Yeah.
Manor was totally.
Yeah, I
different.
didn't even either. I didn't either.
Yeah. And so like it was very and we had to make the decision. We were like, okay, we want to start recording this. So we either need to restart Strahd or start somewhere new. And we decided to start somewhere new. But ever since then, like I was like, I want to play Strahd again. Like I love Strahd. And so I kind of sat on it for a little bit. But then it kind of came up and I was like, I'm going to start doing Strahd, whether it's with, I don't know who I'm going to play it with, but I'm going to start getting Strahd ready. And so I started thinking about how when we played it before, I had never introduced Strahd. Like you guys never met him. And I was like, I want you guys to meet him early. You guys, he needs to be more a part of the campaign. I need to do it earlier. And I was like, okay, there are a few places that I could plug him in, but I was like, the best place would be right after Durst Manor, and I plug him in there. And then I was like, yeah, I really like that, and it would be awesome if he could interact with the characters, which is difficult because he's so high level. And so it's like, if you get in a fight, he's going to wipe them if it's, or the players could wipe him if they're really, really smart. Like, I mean, so it's a whole bunch of a mess. So I was like, how am I going to do this? And so I kind of sat on that for a while. And I was listening to this playthrough of the Dungeon Coach. And he kind of gave the background. And he wanted to do basically the same thing. And when Strahd comes in, he's going to kill a player. But in the time, he was like, no, I don't want to kill a player. So he just had him hurt the player. Right? And I was thinking about that, and I was like, man, I would love it if he'd kill a player, but I don't want to do that to a person. I don't want to be like, hey, here's your character. Now I'm going to take it away, and you have nothing to say about it. Like, ha, ha, ha. Like, I don't want to play that,
So we settled on let's kill a child.
Well, no, that, like and so
PG-DND, the only podcast where we kill kids.
Double it and give it to someone younger.
Yeah. But I was like, oh, and so I was just wrestling with this, like, how am I going to do this? Because it would be so good. It would set up Strahd as this bad player this bad character that everyone hates. It'd give you such good motivation to finish things. It would tie in a bunch of stuff. I was like, oh, it'd be so good, but I don't want to like take it away from someone. And then we were doing character creation, and Zane comes up to me and he's like, all right, I've got 2 characters and I'm really struggling of what I want to do. He's like, one of the characters is this character that we is kind of based off what your new characters, but very, very different. It was very, very different.
Very different class and everything.
Mm-hmm. But it kind of was like the concept of this. And then he was like, but then the other character is this kid that I want to play that's really innocent, but I want him to die. And I was like, yes, Zane, yes, let's do it. And I was like, 100%, let's do that. And so from then I was like, we're doing that. I don't care. Like, yes, let's do it. Let's go for it.
I'm
so glad he bought into it.
It was you.
Yeah, so
it was the perfect storm.
It was.
Oh my gosh.
So
it was
this
just so
whole
perfect.
time,
And
Silas
so
is trying to share these cute memories with Vilix.
And I was nailing him in.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
just hitting him home.
we had so many
I'm so
conversations, and we were like, we have to get them to love Vilix quick. We have to get them to attach to him. And we were making plans of like how you do it with Silas and how we do it with Vilix. And like we were weaving the thread and like and props to Zane, because like he pulled it off like so much better than we ever talked about. Like he pulled it off so much better.
I was kind of surprised at like how it came about. Like I was like, oh, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna play a kid? Like how am I gonna? I was like, because I mean, like I didn't know how many episodes I had until Vilix was gonna die, and I was like, Tyson. I was like, I don't know if I can like actually make this character like likable and like have meaningful connections with these other characters so fast. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it all just worked out really well.
Yeah. And after like we had a lot of conversations, but at first like these 9 episodes were probably only going to be about 4.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
so.
Tyson
For
was like,
real?
"You got 4 episodes before I kill you,
What?
so do it quick." And I was like,
And he was like, no,
Dude,
I need more time. And so I went in and I added a bunch of stuff, and I was like, they can do this and this and this and this and this, and I just threw everything I could, because I was like, give Zane more time.
Yeah.
Because he was right. It was like 4 episodes was not going to be enough, and so I was like, he needs more
To
time.
get- to
9
get
wasn't
attached.
enough. 9 wasn't enough.
9 was perfect.
arguably, yeah.
9 was just enough that you started to
9 was-
really, really get attached, and you were like, oh, I could get in this for the long run. But it was short enough that it was like, it wasn't long enough. It wasn't enough time.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't enough time. Silas is.
It was perfect.
And he just. Silas, oh my gosh. He made you the horse, and you had the wish well incident, and then you saved his life.
And now it's going to be
was
like
so
a
much- there was so
blood-stained
much
horse. And
Yeah. Oh, there was so much unfinished business, I feel like, which
No, there
really
was.
adds into like the tragedy. You know what I mean? Of Vilix.
Yeah.
Like it's, and yeah, that's definitely something that I definitely like the tragedy trope, with Strahd and with, you know, my other character in the Theros campaign. I hit it. If you guys are into the tragedy trope, you like tragedies, go listen to the Theros podcast.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
On that note, Tyson, Zane, or I guess not Tyson and Zane, Tyson and Connor. Zane, you were in the same position both times, basically. But was this what it felt like?
with
In the
With
other
what happened?
campaigns,
Yeah, with what happened in Theros?
with my other character in general, I guess.
I
That's what he
think
means.
I think it was different because
It was different.
this
Well, it was
happened
different.
this happened in such a short time
That's fair. That's
that it was like a ripping of the heart. The other
Yeah.
time was more like a slow slicing that that it was like the denial
You
of
knew
it.
something
I
was gonna
knew
come
you
out.
knew something was gonna happen, and it was like,
But like you didn't want it
but you
to.
didn't
You're
want
like,
it to. It was
"No."
the denial
Yeah.
of it that hurt so
And
bad. It was the
small pieces. Yeah.
yes, even though it
Yeah.
happened, it was like for like really, like it's really going this way. It was the denial that hurt.
It was like the death of 1,000 cuts.
Yes.
But like
Yes,
Vilix,
1,000%.
I feel like was just like a
Semi-truck.
rushing, just
Yeah, a truck. An atom bomb, perhaps. Oh, it didn't go live. Oh, there we go.
The
Yeah,
one
you-
time that it doesn't.
You just
The
look
one time it
you just look
doesn't go
crazy.
live.
I don't even know what you're trying to do, Jefferson.
Yeah, these people are like, this guy is part of
It's
the.
like this guy is so insensitive. Like, come on. Like,
Watch the other ones, I promise.
Oh, that's so. I think that's so cool that this just worked out. That where Zane's like, "Hey, I got this character that I want this to happen to," and that Tyson, you were just like, "Well, turns out that's exactly what I'm looking for."
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it's great, but it hurts.
Yeah.
Can we theorize about Zane's new character?
Yeah, let's do it.
First
Okay, go ahead.
things first. I want to just make some shout outs to some comments
Oh,
that
yeah.
Oh yeah, let's
people have posted.
Yeah, so leave your comments in our YouTube, and you might end up in our after show.
Yeah, because honestly, like we love the comments. They're great. We read all of them
do it. Yes,
and reply to all of them.
and
So,
discuss them with each other. In
yeah,
yeah.
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 Reply to comment on this video, and maybe you'll
Reply
be
to
in the
this
next one.
video, and maybe we'll reply to you in the next one.
Yeah.
Double it and give it to the next person.
I know. I think actually, so this first comment was actually from our previous after show. So
really?
seriously, if you do it here, like we could talk about it in the next one. So this one was written by, and I got permission from both these people to talk about their comments and give their names. So this is Madison Alfred 5704, and this is dealing with we were talking about Vilix's backstory a lot and things like that. So she says, I think Vilix accidentally killed his parents. He did it, but totally not on purpose. Hey, that's what you were just talking about. That's
literally
twice
the one.
times we brought this comment up.
Yep.
Comment on this
Xeno,
video, we might say it twice.
yeah.
kidding.
Xeno has a cult and has gathered creatures from all over the place, no idea why, and made them do his bidding without question. And maybe why people across the worlds know about him is because he's gathered creatures from different realms? Question mark.
I
Pretty good
like
theory.
that. That's a good theory.
Yeah. And Silas has a gladiator / Ghost Rider backstory. The house and the family he saw burned was his, and they
Ugh.
were killed because of something or someone that wanted to hurt him, aka Gladiator. And he went so crazy from losing them that he wanted to die too. So he made a deal with the devil, aka Ghost Rider, to get revenge and then die once that has been achieved.
Tyson,
Cool.
are we sure this isn't our ghostwriter? Like the person who's actually writing the show?
Writing this show.
Yeah, no, I think
Not our
I
ghost
think that
writer, but our ghost writer.
our writer. Yeah, no, I think that this person definitely like most of my stuff I get from this commenter, like, so
Yeah.
they write my scripts.
Wow,
Those-
those were solid
They are not
theories.
making me read this right now
Uh-huh.
due to legal reasons.
You sit on a throne
There's
of
an
lies.
asterisk. There's an asterisk by that, Tyson.
You sit on a throne
Asterisk
of
me, don't read
lies.
it.
No,
those are
great comment.
phenomenal theories. Yeah, thank you for your comment.
Yeah.
Commenter, I wish I could tell you if you were right in your guess, not because I'm keeping it from you, but because I myself don't know what my backstory is. So,
Only I know.
and the writer.
Yep.
And them, because they
And
wrote
Oh
it.
yeah, that's
so.
fair. So they know. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
they already know.
Thanks, Madison.
Yeah, thank you. We also on the after show we had a lot as to what Xeno was. We heard changeling, turtle, lizard folk. Those were most of them. Those were most of our guesses. So I think we talked most of those in the after show as well. So pretty
Okay,
good though.
Voodoo
I'll say this. Wrong. All of those
on all
are
three of those.
all of those are
Wrong.
wrong. Wrong.
Rug.
Try again. But good guesses. Good guesses. Changeling
Yeah.
would have been fun.
Changeling would have been fun.
Definitely probably crossed my radar. Excuse
You
me.
heard it here first, folks.
Yeah.
Put every available race in the comments, and
There-
we'll finally find out what
There was a
Xeno's
big
race is.
the episode, our previous episode, episode 9. There was a big hint, or something that happened, or something that was used, that is a big hint in what I actually am.
Yeah.
And if you know your
You've done
D&D
2 of
classes
them.
and you know your races, then it'll
No,
make
I've
it will
wondered
make
that.
sense.
Yeah.
It was too obvious.
What?
There was one that you did in I think episode 3, I want to say.
Yeah,
Or something like that. It was somewhere earlier where you
did. You dropped it
something
before then. Yeah.
that is
Yes, you're right.
very, very big. So there's a
Yes.
few of them. So like it's out there. Like if you know your D&D, like it's out there.
Can
But
I take a guess?
You just gotta
Go for it.
Will you tell me yes or no, or will I still not know?
I will tell you.
Trust me. Everyone, plug your ears. Just kidding.
Everyone watching,
know,
turn off your headphones.
Yeah, go ahead and
and
go.
your
I
You
will-
can text
hit
me
mute.
yes
I'll
or no.
text you yes or no.
You text me yes or no.
Yeah. what's
My
your-
guess is hex is a hex blade. Is that a race? That's a available race, right?
Hexblade?
Hexblades.
Isn't that like
class.
that's a class?
Yeah,
A
it's like a
Hexblade
subclass of Warlock.
Well,
Yeah,
no, there's a
Hexblade,
difference.
Warlock.
There's another. I'm pretty sure it can also be a race. I'm probably just crazy because I don't read the notes.
Okay,
If
well
you
while
really
you're
don't want
looking
us to
that
know,
up,
just put it in the notes.
yeah, that's true. I should just make my DM know it's just publicly available to you guys.
We
'cause
would
Yeah,
have no
probably.
idea.
apparently no one reads it. So
I do, Tyson. I just can't have it open with all the other programs I
Okay,
have
it's
ready.
not.
I
It
know
is not a race.
I know
you're right,
Connor does.
but I got nothing then.
Okay, well,
Freaking.
we have another
subclass of
comment.
Warlock.
Okay. So this one is by Preston Alford 8912. So thank you, Preston.
Thank you, Preston.
He said, and this is actually one of my favorite comments that we've had. Not that I judge them; they're like children to me. I love them all, but this one's really good.
More than others.
So, yeah, some more than others. So it says, first off, a bard that doesn't know vicious mockery. Yeah, but that's not the good part. He says,
Wow, that-
second,
No, go ahead. Keep going. It's fine.
vicious mockery. You can. It's a thing.
Yeah.
But second, I want to think that Silas wished for Vilix to be safe or to make it out of Barovia alive.
Oh,
And that is
He
my
did.
headcanon of what he wished for.
it is. Look at
After
Jefferson's
I read
face.
that, I was like, that's it.
Look at
that's
Jefferson's
it.
face.
Confirmed.
Oh my
You heard it here,
gosh.
folks.
Oh,
That is sad.
confirmed.
Oh,
Confirmed.
Literally
100%.
not even like 24 hours later.
Yeah,
Magic
Vilix.
wishing well.
Oh,
Vilix, it's not a magic wishing well, and wishing sucks. You heard it here. You heard it here, this, folks. You heard it here first, folks. Don't
Wishing
wish for your
wells are
problems to go
not-
away.
they're not real.
No. Yeah. Silas absolutely wished that Vilix would be safe and make it out safe. Not of the house, but of Barovia.
Man.
Wishes
yep,
don't come
confirmed.
true. That's
Ugh.
terrible.
Yeah. I literally read that comment. I was like, I will not believe anything else unless Jeff tells me otherwise, but
Nope.
that is what
Uh,
I'm believing. And now that it's
maybe it should've
confirmed,
been-
like, man.
And maybe it should have been better left unsaid, but
No.
confirmed.
I think it needed to be said.
I think it'll get
Think it
brought
has.
up. I think it might even get brought up anyways. In game.
I'll confirm. And I think, I don't know. I am still. Jefferson is still trying to work through Silas's emotions. To not gonna lie. There was once a couple days ago, because we knew that this after show was happening, that I was like thinking about it, and I was like thinking about the next episode, and I got emotional. I was like, oh my gosh, I think I'm gonna cry. It's like, no, Vilix isn't real. Vilix is not a real person.
I did that
He's
today.
fake. He's fake. And then earlier in this episode, just sitting here in one of the quiet moments, I thought the same thing. I was like, it just all came back again. I was like, Vilix is not. Vilix is this is a story? This is not real? You didn't really get to know this innocent little kid and love him so
Yeah.
much? Ugh. Anyway, yep,
What do you
Silas wished that Vilix would be safe. And we'll see if his denial that he's so accustomed to using this world might play.
It's a
play
very
in a little bit
interesting
next episode.
dynamic. I feel like Silas is very saddened for over Vilix for selfless reasons, where Xeno is saddened probably a little more for selfish reasons, because he doesn't get to make amends with him. It's not so much about the kid as it is about himself. That's an interesting dynamic.
I wouldn't be too
there's
worried about it, honestly. Like, like with like the scaring Vilix, like he forgives and forgets. He's a little kid.
Well, he's dead, so we don't know if he forgives and forgets.
so
So
he's dead.
Real.
I don't want
That
you.
happened,
I don't
like,
want you to ever speak for Vilix again. Okay.
yeah, he's dead.
That's not your character anymore. Okay, that's Tyson's character.
That's usually how. Sorry, never mind. I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
I'm just kidding.
You keep
Yeah, don't.
his name out of your dirty mouth.
I know exactly what you were gonna say.
You knew what I was going
I
to say.
know what you were
I'm
gonna say.
sorry.
Go watch Theros.
I know what you're gonna say too.
Go watch
Yeah.
Theros.
Go watch Theros. Go listen to Theros.
But that was like honestly, that was one of the biggest things that Zane and I talked about, is like Vilix is big. Like Vilix is one of the most loved characters that we have. Like everyone talks about Vilix and loves Vilix. We got to come up with something that tops it. Like we have to come up with something that somehow can compete with Vilix, which leads us into our next thing. I want to know what your guys' thoughts are on his next character.
Okay. Do we think he's going melee or spellcast? Did you make this before you knew about all of our characters?
After.
After.
Yeah, I did do after. I had one idea that I thought I was gonna do. Like I was like Tyson was saying earlier, I was like, oh, I want to have Vilix and another character. Wasn't sure which one I was gonna do, and the other character I thought was cool, but I ended up scrapping it. Kind of going in a different direction, and then
I think he is going to do a mixed class. And when I say mixed, I mean
Like a half
a mixed
caster?
a half caster. No, not a multi-class.
like a multi-class.
half-caster. I don't think he's gonna be a multi-class. I think he's gonna be a half caster. I think he's going to combine the spellcasting abilities that Xeno has with the battle capabilities Silas has. He's gonna go right down the middle. So he's gonna play like a ranger or a paladin, which Tyson originally said no paladins, but that was for the
No, that was
for
last
the
time we played
campaign
through
before.
Strahd. That was
Now you said we can, so
Yeah.
I'm wondering if we might sneak in a paladin in there as well.
I am going to
Maybe-
confirm that it's
and
not a paladin.
It's not a paladin.
not paladin.
He played a
Maybe an
paladin last
artificer.
time.
yeah.
I have a paladin in the Theros campaign.
That's fair.
I was
That's
like,
fair. I didn't realize that.
My first type character that popped in my head was like some type of priest. And then my second character is some type of barbarian.
Yeah, I was kind of feeling barbarian too. I could see a priest though, like a healer of some sort,
Yeah.
cleric. We need a healer.
We need a lot, okay?
I
We
need help.
We need to
There.
go over 9 sessions without someone dying, but
Yeah.
here we are.
I feel like we should start up like in like a workplace when they're like, oh, like 60 days since
0
our
days
last
since
accident.
incident, yeah.
Zero. We have to like zero. We have to have like a chart where it's like 0 days since our last character was killed.
That'd be funny.
We
Could
should
just-
count characters going down as well as kills.
We could make a little counter and just have it in the bottom corner of our days since
Can we
last
do that?
incident.
That would be
We could do that.
amazing. Like blank episodes since like a character death.
But does that include just going like hitting 0 hit points? Like even if you die, but like being knocked unconscious?
No,
like,
it's
you're
got to
on
be
death's
dead.
door? Dead?
Dead.
I don't know how many times. I mean, depends on how recklessly we play, but I don't know how many times the rest of us are gonna die.
Well,
We should save that. For
I
the
tell
one
every-
shot.
We
I'm gonna be honest. I tell every DM like, I want you to try and kill my character. Like, don't hold back. I want to die. If I'm gonna die, I want to die.
Yeah, and I did tell you guys, like, before we started, I want to make it more deadly than Theros. Like, I want to make it like death is a serious thing that can happen. So, we've already got the first one under our belt.
Mm-hmm.
That was a little bit more planned out, but you know what? I'm not gonna outwardly try to kill you guys, but I'm definitely not gonna
But-
hold you back from mistakes and the dice and everything. So
Zane's next character is gonna be like an old man, and then on like 8 episodes from now, he's gonna be like, execute order 66, and then all of a sudden we're all just gonna start getting shot from arrows, and it's gonna turn out he's like Strahd's cousin or something.
Drod.
Yeah, Strahd.
He has some,
Cousin-
like,
cousin
very
Strahd.
suspicious name. Strahd Jr.
it's like a Russian
like-
accent.
He's like,
Hello,
"Oh,
I'm
hello,
Drod."
My name is Drod.
Drod.
Drod Zonvarovich.
Von Zarovich.
No, Zonvarovich.
Zonvarovich.
I am no relation
No
to
relation
Baron.
there.
It's like a question though. It's like Strahd Zanvarovich?
Yes, that is different than Baron.
Never heard of him.
That is
What
my
is
name.
man ruled this place? Pretty cool guy, no? Yes?
Very good guy.
Good
Only
guy.
heard
Very
good
very
things
good man.
about him.
Very good. Very yes. Yes, vampire. Very good.
I just want to know what your character is. When do we get to find out?
After we have our episode, just us.
It'll be next episode.
Good.
No, I'm excited to meet him
So-
too.
Is
He
there,
will
any,
not be.
is there any like hints that I could like give towards it, Tyson? Like,
Have you been in Barovia for a
Um,
long time?
Yeah. Are you just coming into Barovia, or have you been here for a while?
can I answer that?
Or is that too big?
Yeah,
of a...
I mean, honestly, I think that would be kind of a cool,
I feel like we gotta give a little bit
a
of a
little
teaser.
nugget.
Yeah, you gotta give a
I think
little
that's
nugget
cool
or
just
something.
something.
Build the anticipation. And that's nothing to do
yeah.
with your actual character. That's just your timeline.
Yeah. Well,
I will say, okay, so he is not in Barovia yet.
Ooh.
And as
Nice.
far, and I'll say this, it is definitely very true with like what Tyson said, like with how I create my characters a little bit. He has a end goal of some sort.
of
know
what
I
you
mean?
want for him.
There's a reason he's gonna be in Barovia.
Hmm. Interesting.
That's it, and that's all you get.
The more he's talking, the more I think Drod Zonvarovich is a real deal. Is the real deal.
Actually, I just changed it. I'm now Drod Zanvarovich.
All right, I changed my guess. I think you're playing a wizard or a druid.
Ooh,
Those are my
a
guesses.
druid in Strahd would be
Locking it in.
Yeah, I know where you're coming from, Connor. You think that I'm traveling there like through some kind of spell?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Potentially. I don't know.
Plane walking in there.
We'll
I'm gonna
see.
go with melee or half caster.
I really kind of hope you're melee, but at the same time, I kind of don't because I love our chaotic group. Like, just our absolute, like, we can't be in physical
No
combat
front
with
line.
anybody because it's going
Yeah.
to lead to death number 2, and I really look forward to that.
Hey,
I'm
I have a
excited for our.
sword.
What?
I said I have a sword.
Oh.
True.
That's
I'm
true.
excited to see like how our new
it's
dynamic
15 armor
goes.
class.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have the highest armor
I-
class of all of us.
I do with a 15.
Dude, I have like an
Yeah.
11.
Yeah,
I didn't know
and
yours was so low.
Yeah.
And
Felix
Vilix
had
is
like
a
a
sorcerer.
12 or
Yeah,
something. Like,
Dude, it
that
was
makes
12.
sense.
It
Freaking
was-
8-year-old had us a higher AC than I do.
He was 10.
Just because I have a shell doesn't mean I have a crazy high armor class.
That's fair.
That had to be.
I-
Getting
will
shaken
say,
baby
though-
syndrome in there every time he gets hit.
I will say though that the build that Zane went with was not at all what I was personally expecting. So for
Really?
me,
I
it was
wasn't
very
even
left field,
expecting
but but I'm very
Interesting.
excited about it. But it was not at all on my radar of what he was gonna do. So I'm
Interesting.
I think
very
it's gonna
excited.
be it's gonna be a very interesting character.
He's
And
playing a monk.
I'm
gonna be playing a
very
monk.
interested in how the new dynamic is gonna be. I think it's gonna be
yeah.
kind of cool.
I'm calling monk,
Mhm.
locking it in.
Mike, still
Monk final answer.
am I still going to be the third
Monk final
wheel?
answer. Probably.
Probably.
Actually,
Honestly, it's kind of
probably
up to you
not.
guys. I mean,
It
you know what
will
I mean?
depend on if Vilix's death will like trauma bond us, which I mean,
Probably will.
very likely. So Silas, consider he will never admit it, but as we stand right now, even pre Vilix's death, I'd say the last 2 episodes, Silas considers Xeno a friend.
I knew it.
He would never say it out loud.
I
He
knew
would
it.
never say it out loud.
It slipped. It
But
slipped
I
that one
think-
night
Uh-huh.
though.
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it, yep.
That was so
And-
good though.
That was intentional. But he won't admit it, I think. I think he's
Hey,
he's a cowboy. He's got some pride to him.
actions speak louder than creepy vibes.
So, yes. Correct.
So
Yeah,
far,
we
at
did.
least. You got to build
So
trust
far.
and rapport somehow before you turn them
So-
into
Actions
stew.
speak louder than creepy vibes.
Yep.
That being said, I think Silas holds a lot of weight in the actions of others and himself. And I think Xeno has proved to be a trustworthy friend, especially when it regarded Vilix, right? Like every time Silas was like, "Go make sure the kid is safe,"
Mm-hmm.
you know, Xeno would go do it. And I think he could tell it wasn't because it was because Xeno cared about Vilix,
Perfect.
which is what you're trying to trick me with.
Tyson, now. Do it now, Tyson. Quick. You know, the thing we talked about. I'm just kidding, Tyson. I'm just trying to set Jefferson on edge. No, there is no thing. Perfect. I have his trust. Tyson, do it now.
Oh.
Take it away.
Silas, you're dead too.
Good. think at
I
this
win.
point, Silas kinda
I
won.
win Dungeons and Dragons. I killed my
Campaign
friends.
over.
Thanks for playing Strahd, everybody.
You see Connor peels off a mask, and it is him, the one and only Strahd Zahn Barvich. The whole time.
Son of a-
The
is
whole
I.
time.
Cousin to Strahd. Strahd.
Yeah. I am so tempted to create a character named
Please
Thrawn
don't.
Please.
and
You
throw it
should,
somewhere
Rob.
in Barovia.
Just like some homeless guy that like pretends to be Strahd. He's like,
I
I'm
would-
Strahd.
Silas just
Strahd.
shoots him in the face. Like, oh, I thought that's what you said, Strahd. My bad, buddy.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. I'm putting that in my back pocket. That's hilarious.
Well, at least we
So-
know that it's not going to get as chaotic as last time. Surely, when we get to this first town, it's not going to be nearly as insane.
Let's just
Let's see
burn
what
down
I-
this village. Why not?
What all did we do? What all did we do? We bullied a kid. We bullied
a kid who had nothing to do with anything, and we thought he did. We murdered the mayor's.
We murdered the mayor's son.
The burgomaster's son or nephew or something
Oh,
right in
did
front
all
of the
that.
house,
Yeah,
and then we
poison
got hired to investigate the murder
That we did.
that we did.
We're sitting at the dinner table with the mayor. The mayor's like, we need to find who's out there and killed my son. And we're like, yeah, we do. Yeah. And
We're all
his
dead.
arm, his body was still in the bag of holding. Do you remember? His whole body was in the bag of holding. Oh, and then we tricked. We pretended to do a poltergeist to the toy maker.
Because we thought that somehow he was involved in the evilness.
Which he wasn't. He
But
was
not,
just a
but not the guy who has
misguided
a
man.
den of vampires in his house. Oh, Tyson,
Oh man,
I'm grateful we're doing this over.
me too. And then we're like, we're gonna go kill werewolves, and Tyson's like, hey, you want to go kill werewolves? We're like, yeah, we do. And he's like, I think you should go over here. We're like, no, we're gonna go kill werewolves right now.
Man, we used to suck at this game.
All right, how do I avoid a TPK here?
I'll just kill one of the characters.
Just one of them's gotta die though.
Oh,
How many
so
times have
great.
we done that though? Because we did that to Jefferson too. You got this deed to a house full of vampires. We're going to that
Oh,
house.
we're going.
You really shouldn't.
If you go, you will die. We gotta go.
We gotta go.
We don't care. We don't care. The risk is worth it.
I'm like, it'll be really hard for you guys to beat them.
No risk, no
don't understand.
reward.
We have
We need
the
a base.
deed.
And I'm
It's
like,
ours.
and you're like, we need a base. We need a base for our operations. I'm like, you like the world will end by the time you get there. And they're like, but a base.
But
But
we
a
don't care.
base.
Part of the American dream is to own property.
It's true.
Okay.
Oh,
And
man.
They
you
were
you
doing
gave
their
us
American
private
due
property.
diligence.
That is when I learned as a DM. That was like the first like hard lesson I learned as a DM, that don't include anything in anything you say that you don't want to be exploited and used to the furthest extent. You know, don't mention a canyon when you're driving by a canyon, because the players are going to want to go into it when it means
Yeah.
nothing.
Yep.
And it was so funny. I played recently last week. I played somebody that was their first time DMing, and they did like this massive prep work. They gave everybody all this stuff. Like all the characters had like all these side quests before we played together that we were supposed to share with each other. And they give it to the first character, and he's like supposed to explain everything in game, you know. And his character's quiet. And his character's like, I completed the quest. And she's like, and he's like, and that's it. Quest completed. She's like, but, and he's like, but what? Do you need to know anything else? Like, it was done. We're done. Like, we it's job done. And
It's in the
she's
past.
like, yeah, and like the look in her eyes, which was like, I spent hours prepping this cool story that he's gonna share with everybody else, and it's gonna be so amazing. We're asking all these questions, and he just shows up. The player is just, yep, I did it.
What about it? Huh?
And yeah, basically,
What do you want from me?
And I could tell in her eyes that was that moment for her where she was like, I can't do anything because that's my player's choice on whether or not they share that story. Oh, she was so mad. It was very funny.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Well,
What else? What other questions we got?
What's in your?
Yeah.
Let's talk about what's in your show.
yeah. Was it at all what everyone was expecting?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes and no. Yes and no. I knew it acted as a bag of holding.
I knew there would be a bigger space of some kind.
It's
Yeah.
a TARDIS.
Is that what it's called? A TARDIS?
Okay. Never mind. None of you guys have ever watched Doctor Who. I can tell by the looks on your
I mean,
faces.
I knew enough to get that
Okay.
reference, but
Okay. I said
Yeah,
it, then
I
you
know what
all
you're
were just
talking
staring at me, and I was like, never mind.
I was actually secretly hiding a yawn, so
It's
I'm sorry
bigger on
for
the inside.
Unresponsive.
Wow, you hid that really well.
I know it didn't look like you.
I'm over here like.
Yes, and I tried holding on, and I'm like,
I just want all the viewers to know we're not yawning because we're bored. We're yawning because it's midnight and we all have jobs and lives and other stuff, and we do this in
families.
our
and-
very, very extensive free time the late night free
not
time.
extensive free time.
No, I meant
Not extensive free time.
we extend the night so that
Yes.
we can have some free
Correct.
time to do all this.
Amen.
For you.
'Cause we
Yeah, I mean that's
I was-
that's the basic of my shell. There could be secrets, there could be more.
I was expecting. I'm not gonna lie. I was expecting like a Jiminy Cricket Vilix, a Jiminy Cricket Xeno down there, like pulling the strings of his puppet body,
Yeah.
which there still might be, right? Like Vilix wasn't down there very
Yeah.
long, but
True.
I was a little bit disappointed when that didn't happen.
Yeah. Well, maybe Xeno's more normal than you think.
No, but
You never
Silas
know.
is still curious. Silas still has no idea.
Well, if it makes
That's
you,
true. Yeah.
I mean, if
Felix
Silas
didn't say anything.
yeah, you didn't, and if Silas asks, very nice, it might let you see inside of it. We'll see.
Great. I'll bring my bag of holding.
If you start calling him friend. Good. Bring your bag of holding inside of it.
Okay,
Do it.
I will.
Be fine.
2 deaths.
What's
marked
the
down.
worst? Oh, come on. You're being over dramatic. What's the worst that's gonna happen?
Actually, I've got a
Yeah.
better idea. Let's
Mm-hmm.
wait. Does that mean if your shell breaks, that's the equivalent of ripping the bag of holding?
I don't know if it can.
Well, I mean, you've been pretty laissez-faire with turtle crushing that shell and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
so yes, it is. It acts like a extra dimensional space on the inside, but
Mm.
like genuinely, I don't know what the shell is.
Interesting.
I have no idea. Like I have a theory or like some guesses, but I really don't know like the property and characteristics of that shell.
I just want to say here that literally this is what happened when we started creating characters. Jeff came up to me and was like, I don't want to have a backstory that I create. I want to have a backstory that you create.
Mm-hmm.
Connor comes up to me and is like, here's my basic backstory, but here's all these things that I have no idea what. You go ahead and make them. And
Mhm.
Zane's like, all right, I want my character to die. Therefore, I want you to help me create all of these things for my character.
Mm-hmm.
So little do you all know, but I actually
Yeah.
know more about your character's
For sure.
backstories than even you guys
Oh,
do.
yeah.
For sure.
And it's like,
Let me just say, folks at home, this is the easiest campaign I have ever played. All I had to do was roll up a character. I mean, it's really easy.
Yeah.
so there's a lot that I know that you guys don't. And I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing, but it's a thing that has happened
Yeah.
that I find quite hilarious. But speaking
can't beat
of backstories that people don't know about, what about Silas and his vision?
What about it?
What are your thoughts on his vision that he had?
You,
No
Jefferson.
Oh, was that
It's
question?
your
for the
character.
class?
You don't. Yeah, you can answer because you don't know.
Yeah,
in the notes,
all you
man.
three can theorize. Like,
Listen, Tyson
Wait,
just
there's
threw us
notes
under
on
the
this?
bus. Okay. Now everybody, the secret's out
Um,
of the bag, dude. Everybody knows.
Knows what?
Tyson wrote this whole campaign.
Wait, was that in the notes? I didn't read the notes.
There's no
no,
more
it was
notes,
in the
Jefferson.
contract that I made you sign at the beginning. Do you remember
Oh.
that contract? And it was
And there was the
Wow.
finger prick with the pin and the blood and
yeah,
I do remember
little
the
ritual
vaguely
you
had.
video. I do
yeah,
remember the vaguely threatening video
yeah.
yeah.
with my wife like reading something off, terrified. So
Okay, that's a joke.
Yeah, that's a joke. That's not real.
Um, I don't know what to think of the flashback. I think Silas wants more. Like, I think it confirms to him, one, that he's not dead in the sense that, like, he's dead and gone. Like, he's obviously back.
He's back.
Because he made some sort of deal. And I think, I don't know. I like hoped that whenever Silas fell unconscious, that he'd have some inkling of a vision that happened before. I think I'd hoped it was more than that. I think initially Jefferson was like, "That's all I got." Was like when he died, like, I want more. Give me more. But I like it a lot for Silas because I think it gives Silas some context as to why he's here. Because I think Silas doesn't want to be here, right? But now he knows that it was his own fault, his own reason why he's here. You know, like, he brought this on himself. Like, this wasn't a happenstance. This wasn't an accident. This isn't punishment. Like, you know, Silas pre-death wanted to be brought back in some way. I don't think obviously he wanted to be in Barovia, but I think that is important to who Silas is, because I don't think Silas believed that. I think beforehand Silas believed that either one, he was dead and this was all just hell, or two, that it was some sort of accident, like a mistake, a mishap, like he's there by chance.
I'm curious if Silas's backstory and Xeno's backstory are tied in some way. Or maybe not Xeno's backstory, but Xeno's forward, like his future.
And in what way? What do you mean by that?
We just kind of both have other entities that are watching over us, or that we have communicated with in some way. And
So are
Straight up
you
evil.
I'm curious if, dude, I never said I'm for sure.
Hashtag
I'm
Xeno
more.
and Silas, evil.
Yeah. Hashtag
Ah,
confirmed. Evil. I'll admit it.
so if I'm understanding this correctly,
Mhm.
Connor, are you implying that the voice that Silas heard cutting him the deal at Life Again is the same entity that Xeno is in contact with? Is that what you were implying by that?
Yeah, potentially. I think it's very, very unlikely, because I think they're just.
Why?
I think they are very alien to each other, but I do wonder if there's the possibility that it's something pretending to be something else to whatever, like it came to you in what you would understand, and it came to me in a way that I would understand.
But it's still the same entity.
But it's still the same entity, potentially. I think it's a very, very far-fetched theory. I
So
think potentially.
So who is there to help the other?
What do you like between you and I, or what do you mean?
Yeah.
I mean, for sure you're
Or are
helping
we-
me.
Or are we there together on a different mission? I'm just following this theory if it were
Yeah, I don't know.
true, you know.
I don't know. I think it might be more of a, I don't know. I don't know enough about it yet. I gotta do some more seances to get some good rolls.
Pass.
Why? Join me in
Thanks.
my Ouija board.
Can you promise that we'll talk to Vilix again?
If we put his head in a jar.
Absolutely not.
Okay, well,
Um,
you had your chance.
one last thing. is, and I didn't think about this until just barely, how, given that little snippet of a flashback that really wasn't much, it was hard to give like a response in game to what that was, if that makes sense. Nah,
Honestly,
not hard. What?
I thought the response of you when you woke up
Mhm.
was like perfect. I loved that, honestly.
Which that felt like the most true to, I think, Silas, right? Like, I think if he would have experienced that, I think he would have jumped at the chance at another chance again at whatever that second chance was for. So I'm glad you think that, because I did that, and then after I was like, oh, should I have done that? Like, technically he still doesn't know, but I was just going off a feeling. So
Yeah, no, I loved it. I was like, that's great.
In all seriousness,
Zane.
there might be a chance
Oh,
we
go
can talk to Vilix. I don't know.
for real.
I don't know. We'll see in the future. I mean, I am a college of
Do we have
spirits
to-
bard. We don't have to put his head in a jar. That was a joke.
Do we have to bring his body with us?
I don't think Xeno would want to. It's one thing when it's
I
a
mean,
random
Silas
person,
doesn't.
but when it's somebody that you have ties to, it's a little more like, no. You know, Xeno's not a complete monster.
Hmm.
Kid deserves to be put to rest.
You sure about that?
No,
Yeah, he does.
honestly, I'm not.
No, the kid deserved a second chance at life and to get out of Barovia, but instead he was murdered. So there's that.
Well, if you only wouldn't have wished on an opposite day. I mean, technically, he's out of Barovia, so your wish came true.
No, nothing leaves Barovia.
Be careful how you word wish.
I
It can
was
be
magic.
used. It can be used against you.
Nope. Here's the thing: is
Tyson nodded. It's confirmed. Tyson nodded. It's confirmed.
Confirmed.
it's confirmed
Wishing
that
well.
I'm the one
We
that killed him.
we literally
Little
could
do you
have
guys
we could have
know.
wished to kill Strahd.
Here's the thing: do spirits leave Barovia? Souls? Because if nothing leaves Barovia, Vilix's spirit is still there.
I don't know. That might
And
be
as far as
something.
we've learned in game, nothing leaves Barovia.
I think that we just made a potential side quest for Tyson. Tyson's like, oh, you know what? That's actually a really cool idea. Like, yeah, that could be something in the future that they could look into. So, I think we're gonna find out in game. Because I would
Good.
I would
I
be
hope
so
so.
down to do that.
I think so too.
Heck,
Yeah.
I even played, technically my second character I played last time proved that. It was the path of the ancestral guardians, but instead of
Oh.
ancestors, it was the spirits of my friends that had died in Barovia.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but that was the last time. Last time was
I know,
such
but
Honestly,
Barovia,
I've changed a lot since then.
Barovia
Oh.
doesn't change.
Barovia changed a lot.
Yeah,
Barovia's changed a lot.
first off, Strahd shows up. Second off, he's got a cousin. Third off,
His cousins from
That's it. That's all I've changed.
yeah.
Strahd and Drod.
Strahd and Strahd. No. No.
he shouldn't
no.
have a Russian accent. He should have like a thick New York accent.
Yeah,
New
like
York
a
accent. It's like,
Jersey accent or
"Hey,
something.
it's
I just
Italian."
imagine like some like he owns a pizzeria or something. He's
Strahd.
got a Jersey accent.
Hey, I'm Drod.
You guys
I'm
call
don't-
me-
don't
my
talk
new-
about my
new
cousins.
character is Strahd von Zar.
Ah.
Whatever the dude's name is.
Drod's on fire.
Drod. It's
Strahd von
Drod.
Zarzich.
It's Drod Sanvarovich. All right, get it right.
Listen, you come into here, into my pizzeria. You talk about my cousin. You know we don't talk about my cousin.
You asked if I have garlic on my pizza.
Of course I do. It's to keep him away from here. Because he's not welcome.
He's not welcome in this house.
He's not
You
welcome
walk
here.
into my door shop.
After what he
You
did to my grandma.
disrespect me and my family. You breathe the name of he who shall not be named in my doorstep.
I'll tell you what I'm gonna do.
You jokingly refer to my name as his name because they sound similar.
Hey,
Even though I don't hear it one bit.
what's Lancelot?
A dog.
Is he just a sacrificial
dog.
lamb?
Yeah,
I know we talked about this after, but I don't think we actually it was during the recording.
No, it wasn't. I do have a confession. I don't think Jeff even heard. So the
Yeah,
sole
'cause my
purpose.
freaking
Yeah, your
computer
computer.
reset.
Yeah.
Oh, Jeff, get ready
So
for
the
this.
sole purpose.
No, I don't want my
of
heart to break
Lancelot,
again.
Yeah, you do.
The
Listen.
sole purpose of me putting Lancelot in there was, if you guys chose to, you could sacrifice him on the altar. Like 100%. That's what he was there for.
That's it.
That's it.
Well,
I love that.
I mean,
I
other
love
than
it.
having a cute puppy.
What
if
would
we
it have?
want.
What would it have done?
it act like there were multiple scenarios that could have gone down. And I will say that I gave Lancelot, there's a reason why he's there, and there's a, like, he serves a purpose. It's not like a crazy anything, but he serves a purpose. But basically I was like, this is there in case you guys decide to actually sacrifice something.
I love it.
But do you guys want, like, what you want to know what would have happened if you would have?
Yes,
Would the
because I
darkness
almost
have
did
gone
it.
away?
Yeah. So basically, the way that I had written it, it's different than the book. So in the book, it's like, oh, you sacrifice something. Okay, now you can leave for free. Go on with your life. But I was like, I don't really like that.
Yeah.
So I had it as that the darkness. I mean, this is just one of like many things I changed. The Death House, Durst Manor, is that the darkness would creep forward, and it would take your sacrifice, and essentially, it would reveal itself, and you guys would be able to destroy it. I would give you guys like, I would nerf it a ton as it's like distracted. You would get a free round to do whatever you wanted to, and I would basically make you destroying the darkness easier. And then if you chose to not destroy it, then the house would just let you leave, but it would not be fixed. You know, the children would not be put to rest. The darkness would remain, and it would stay there as the Venus flytrap that it is, pulling in random adventurers and serving them up to the darkness, basically.
So the
I like
kids,
that.
the kids out front, was that actually Rose and Thorn, or was that the house's projections of
That was
them?
the house.
That's
That was
The
awesome.
house's
I love
projections.
I love
That's
that.
awesome.
Yeah, that's why they didn't recognize you. They're like, we've never
Yeah.
seen you
Makes-
before.
Yeah, that
makes
makes
sense.
total sense.
I love that.
Yeah.
Is Lancelot? Did Lancelot leave with the house, or is he there with us?
He's with you guys. You have him.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, I said the puppy is the weak one. Strahd was like, "Who's the weakest?" And I was like, "The dog." And then he was like, "Haha, super funny. I'm gonna kill your friend."
He's like, that's not funny.
And I was
I
like,
turned to
I was
Lancelot. I'm
A
like,
child.
you better be a level 20 sorcerer in there, or druid or something, man. He
Evidently,
killed the kid instead of you.
evidently, the dog is powerful. Yeah, right. That dog
Well-
just turned into another tool to traumatize us. That's all it
I don't
is.
care.
10
That's all
episodes.
next
10
direction.
episodes from now, we're gonna be like, "Oh, Lancelot, you're so cute." Tyson's gonna be like an eagle swoops
I'm
down
gonna
and,
kill it.
and snatches it with its talons, and Lancelot is gone.
Werewolves are
Just
out
gonna
of
like
rule.
that.
nowhere.
He just said it.
But no, I will say, like, in that moment of you guys with Strahd, like, I had thought of so many outcomes. I was like, there's so many ways that this is gonna go, and it played out like none of them. Like,
So, like,
Yeah.
what? Give us a
What do you
few
think was gonna
examples.
happen?
Yeah.
I personally thought, I was like 100% I'm gonna be like, who's the leader? I was like, Silas is gonna be like, me. I'm the leader. I'll talk to you.
I thought you were going to, and then when you didn't, I was like, okay, I guess I'll do it, because I wasn't gonna let Vilix do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I should have.
I just didn't want
I think,
Vilix to put himself in the point of
regretful.
danger, but
Yeah, too late.
it was all lies.
And like I had thought of I was like, okay, if Silas gives me a name, this is what's going to happen. If Silas doesn't give me a name, this is what's going to happen. If he does this or that or this, like I had thought of like everything. I was like,
So, okay, like give you a name as far as who's the weakest.
I was like, if
Okay,
you
so
if
if
you do
Silas-
this, yeah, what?
Okay, so let's say Silas says he's the leader. Let's say Silas walks up and you're like, who's the weakest? What if Silas would have said himself?
Then Strahd would have basically been like, I'm trying to. There's a fine line because there's a lot of plot threads that I was possibly weaving through all of this, and so depending on the answer, you would get different plot threads.
Gotcha.
And so I don't want to like leak any of those
That makes sense.
outside of game,
Interesting.
but I'm just saying, like, I had thought a lot about this
Felix
moment.
still would be dead though.
Yes, every outcome led to Vilix. It was just how it got there.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I was like 100%. I was like, Xeno's not gonna do it, and I was like, if he does, like, we'll run with it. But I was like, I don't think he's going to.
I wasn't.
I
I wasn't going to.
think Silas didn't because I think Silas doesn't believe he is a leader. I think he doesn't have the self-confidence for that.
I think this will make Silas into a leader.
Maybe.
I think now Silas will want to like lead a crusade against Strahd.
Oh no, he is.
Bonzarovich.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like that will
Oh,
make
yeah.
him a leader.
Yeah.
Like this is the making of like
Mhm.
now it's time to take charge.
Yep.
It's
We're gonna
okay.
go on. We're gonna start campaigning. We're gonna go
I-
town to town to town, and I'm gonna stand on soapboxes, and I'm gonna
We-
to campaign.
We're gonna start
against
drafting people into
Strahd.
the war to kill
Absolutely.
I am absolutely
organize.
not gonna let you do that, but Xeno can help you become a leader.
Would you like to serve your country, Barovia?
I
and
can. I'm being
destroy
genuine.
Strahd?
It's so
Silas
perfect.
wants you.
It's so perfect.
Oh, is
Barovia
it?
needs you.
Yes, Xeno can help Silas become a leader.
Mm.
He can,
How?
dude, by teaching you how to talk to people and how to be nice to people,
Silas is nice to people.
how to put on the riz. Okay?
No, that checks
This
out. I
is
can
what-
definitely see Xeno
this is
helping,
what Xeno
helping
does.
Silas with that. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
you're
Like
right,
you have
you're
a whole
right.
following, you know,
Yeah.
being a leader.
I have an entire cult, according to Madison.
Ah, you have a cult. He said it himself. You heard it here.
I said according
You
to
heard it here
Madison.
first.
Canonized.
According to Madison.
It's canon. She writes our show.
Not
Both are
true.
true.
Both are true. Not true.
I'm legally obligated. Tyson has a piece of paper. He's like, I'm legally obligated to say that that's true.
Well, I'm kind of interested. What are your thoughts of, like, where do you think the campaign's going? Like, where do you think your characters are headed that you haven't said already? Like, what do you think it is in the future?
I guess I can go first. Outwardly, I think Xeno's gonna be really trying to support Silas through this next little bit. He's really gonna try to be, just to be there for Silas however he can. Inwardly, Xeno's about to start really, really dabbling in some dark arts, baby.
Ooh.
So, yeah, but that'll kind of be a more
behind the scene.
yeah, behind the shell type of a thing, you know.
Yeah. Like before you go to sleep and you're doing crazy weird stuff.
Yeah.
Chicken bones and
But
raven eggs.
outwardly, he's really going to be trying to help Silas.
Yeah, I think there's just so much that I think Silas has to work through first. But Silas is a vengeful type. And he protects his own. So I think Silas is going to do everything he can to try and kill Strahd. And I don't know what that's going to look like because I understand mechanically, right? That it's like, okay, we need to play level up, and so we have a fighting chance. But Silas doesn't think that way. Silas thinks I've got to kill him. So we'll see how that. I don't
Let it play out.
I don't know. I don't know what Silas is gonna do.
It's all right. I can cast suggestion and stuff. I can keep you in check.
But I think that this if Silas wasn't dead before this, he is now.
That's deep.
And I think he will be. I think he'll stay that way. I don't think he'll come back.
I like that.
Yeah, you will, through the power of friendship.
I don't know.
We're gonna grow you a new heart.
But that's how it's sitting.
I'm gonna
What
start.
little hope of life that Silas had in himself and in the world and anything died with Vilix. Or should I say was murdered with Vilix.
It's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean that's how Jefferson can genuinely not adequately express how Silas is feeling. Like I have been tossed through it. Oh. And I know
I'm really
and I know
excited
it's
to
a
dive
game,
deep into it.
and I know it's a game, right? But it's like I don't think Jefferson hasn't experienced. Well,
It's not just a game. It's our game.
it's not just a game. They're
It's not a boulder.
It's a rock.
It's our game.
Also, I totally envisioned Plankton being like, thank you for being so stupid. When you were like,
Stupid?
that's so sad. When you said that to Jefferson, I was like, you caused this. Don't lie.
yeah. Thank you for being so
dumb.
What? Did I give you trauma? Where?
That's
But
my job.
I think that's
I will say,
Executive
though-
of trauma causing.
Yeah. But I will say, just for the record, I did not fudge anything on mechanically killing Vilix.
No,
Everything was 100% by the books. I rolled for it right then and there, and I knew the minimum number that I needed, and it was very, very low, to land a blow that would decimate him down to 0. And then I'd get a crit, auto crit, and his next move would drain his hit points all the way past 0. And everything was mechanical.
Which is hit points. Not very many of them there.
Yeah.
So
was there even a slight chance that he would have lived? I mean, like, there's probably, like, if we would have, like, healed, if things had gone different, if Vilix was, like, full HP.
Do you...
Vilix
full
was
HP?
full HP.
No.
What?
Yeah, no, he was.
Hold on a
You got hit once or twice, but even if you were full HP, I did all the math.
Oh,
no.
I had 21 hit points.
Yeah.
24.
You have more than me.
Yeah. Well, his con's higher.
Oh, makes sense.
But the only thing,
10-year-olds
honestly,
have higher constitution.
the only thing that I was worried about, and this is 100% honest, I went through, like I said, I went through everything, all of your guys' abilities and everything, and I was like, how can my plans be foiled, essentially? And the one thing that I could foresee was silvery barbs.
Yeah.
And you used it during the fight, and I was like, yes. You don't
Yeah.
have any more spell slots.
Yeah.
And so I was like, that was the one thing. I was like, that is the one thing. But even then, it just makes me re-roll. And again, the number was very, very low.
Yeah. Yeah. As much as I love silvery barbs, as a player, I understand. And there's certain situations where I just would never use it. And that is one of those situations where I would never use silvery barbs in that circumstance. Because it's just like, I don't know. I would hate for it to have gone a different way. And then it's just like, okay, well, like it just, I don't know. So I hope you know that I would never do that to you, Tyson.
No. And honestly, I wouldn't say that you could have silvery barbs if I didn't trust you, because it is like,
it's so broken.
Yeah,
it's
like
so broken.
As a reaction, you can just be like re-roll.
Yeah.
You know,
do it again.
Yeah.
Do it again.
So
why? Because I said so.
Yeah. But
I
as a spell, like I think it's cool and I like it as a spell, but I appreciate that you understand that there still needs to be a story.
Yeah.
And I don't want to railroad, but you know, that was like pretty railroady for the most part.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad that you didn't like step in and take that away.
That's a critical hit. Wrong. Wrong.
No, it's not. Wrong.
Wrong.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
You're wrong, and I'll prove it.
Called silvery barbs, baby.
You're wrong. You're ugly, and you're wrong.
That's the silvery barbs.
Well, is there anything else that anyone wanted to bring up or talk about?
I have one tip for everyone listening, and that is, whenever you're playing D&D, talk with your DM about where you want your character to go, and then make a plan with them. Weave the story. You have to let your dungeon master know like where you want it to go. Otherwise, it's just not going to happen. Like, work with them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Very true.
Zane's like, thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
I got
I like
nothing.
that. That's good. Okay. Well, thanks for joining us tonight, and thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notified when we launch our next videos, and please comment down below. We want to hear you guys' theories. We want to hear your guys' thoughts. If you need a therapist, do it.
So do we.
There's help out there. There's help
out there.
And almost all of it is a Google search away.
Yeah.
And if you don't know where to find help, ask somebody.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if they don't know, ask somebody else.
Yeah. Because as much as we joke about things and serious stuff, like, life is real. So if you need help, go get help.
Yeah.
But
even if you don't need help, go see a therapist. It's great.
I love going to therapy. I'm active in therapy, and I freaking love it. It helps me so much in life. So do it. I'm an advocate. It's worth it. Talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about it.
It's great when you're going through stuff. It's great when you're not going through stuff.
Yeah.
I am pro therapy as well.
Same. But anyways,
Zane's like, I'm not.
This is like, I'm not pro therapy.
False. He's just in
No, that's
denial.
false.
I have to be, because I cause so many people to have to go to it. You know what I mean?
I'm pro therapy. I cause people to have it.
I'm keeping the industry alive, baby.
You're
I'm as
sick.
pro therapy as they can be.
You're sick.
Anyways, well, you can follow us on our social medias. They're down below. Hopefully you can read them.
They're all right there. You can see them.
They're right
There's
there.
the tag.
Yeah. And you know what? Thanks for watching. And know that we love you.
Goodbye.
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 So long.